lie.
Every bump he could hit.
Well, he probably trying to knock some sense into you.
Yes.
What's up, y'all? I'm sure you needed it.
Whatever.
Whatever. So I'm working on just on our next Fresh Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna see if Bishop and another national preacher can come on and talk to us about kind of continuing the conversation we had the last two times,
Yeah, that'd be good.
and have a senior pastor, you know, thing.
Mm-hmm. I like it was a nice mix up of
Yep.
people and people outside of what we're used to and whatnot.
Yep. So it'd be pretty cool just have that not only a senior pastor but actual. I would say, sorry to say it, like some senior citizens, some older,
The
older people
wisdom.
bring some perspective.
You're getting up there, Pastor Nick.
I know
You
I'll be
can
40
count.
this year. I'll be 40, and just like thinking, like how when we were on, hey y'all, just come on, hey y'all, just please share. Y'all can join in on the conversation. Hey Kife,
Akife.
come on in, y'all. I was like, so Dr. Hood, if you guys missed Fresh Friday this past Friday, go back and watch it. Dr. Hood, I think he's 35, I think, or 36. Pastor Darius is 33.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting that I'm like in that in between. Everybody's younger than me, or everybody's older than me.
Yeah.
I know. I think I have like two that are my age. We're like 38, 39, or 40. Like we're within that time frame. But I'm like, geez. Every meeting new people, I'm like, oh, we're about the same age. They're like, no, I'm 32. And I'm like,
You're getting old.
I know. How you doing on your sugar detox?
I'm doing good.
Did
Someone's
you
knocking
cheat?
at my door, so
Did you cheat?
not on purpose. I got something that I thought it had like 1 gram of sugar. So I was like,
Wait, but you ate the whole thing?
yeah. I told
That
you I'm at the mercy of my cooks right now. So
that was probably more than 1 gram of sugar, right?
it said 1. It said 1 on the box.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm drinking water. That I have been doing better at.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost some weight.
Nice.
I'm down a belt notch. I'm like, sweet. So I'm
And
gonna
it's
keep
only
it.
been a week.
It's only been a week. I lose weight fast. When I'm on it, I lose weight. I notice it in my face first,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, okay, cool. So I'm gonna keep it going. Uh, you know, yeah, I'm not old. I know. We just, you know, when you're this age, you think you're old. Or people think you're old in
I
your 30s.
know. I'm ancient.
We're doing those of us doing our sugar detox. Hope you guys are doing well, not cheating, doing good. Some people in the chat was posting stuff. What's up, Chef?
Exactly. Thanks to me.
Yo, dude, I was sitting there thinking. I said, you know what? Eating like I would eat breakfast before I leave, then come here, have breakfast, and 2 hours later have lunch. And then I'm like, no wonder why I'm gaining all this weight, man. I'm like, so,
It's
but
good food.
all right, I'm gonna try to keep this up and only eat a little bit of carbs, a little bit of sweets. I don't want to be sugar free my whole life, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this up because if we go back, sure you can ask questions here. If we started, say Bishop was like, yeah, we're gonna start service in July, and we're wearing suits.
You just gotta get a larger suit.
Uh,
No, but I think get into the habit of planning the meals.
Mhm.
That's helpful. That's good.
Oh,
Plan out your calories and whatnot too.
y'all
A lot of
ultra,
it's math.
yeah, y'all a lot of y'all ultra anal people need to plan your meals out. I just eat this, cook it, and fine.
Well, you said that you eat boring during the detox.
Oh yeah,
So
I eat almost the same thing all the time, and I'm
yeah,
fine with it.
you
I'm
can't
completely
do
okay with it.
that for a long time.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's during the detox. So yeah, so
That would help.
so for like 2 or 3 weeks, I can eat the same thing almost 2-3 times a week, or actually no more than that, 5 times a week, I'm fine.
Hmm.
You know, when I'm like in it and I see how it's working,
Yeah.
I'm good. You
Well,
know, I went
some
to
people
Chipotle
need
today.
variety.
Yeah, I
Gotta
went to
mix it up.
Chipotle today to mix it up some. But I'm gonna go home and eat a salad like I have been doing, and when
Hmm.
I find something that works, it works.
Yeah, that and like I've been doing really good eating a lot of fruits and like berries and
What about vegetables?
strawberries,
Vegetables.
cucumbers. I've had those too.
some greens and some broccoli and some
Spinach.
squash and some spinach. Yes,
I don't like squash, but I've been eating all the other stuff.
mix your squash with the stuff. Mushrooms, butternut squash, good for you.
Hmm.
You're like, no.
I'm not sold on the squash, but I like the other stuff.
Mix it in with your greens and your spinach. It tastes pretty good.
Squash is squash. I don't like it.
Jesus, I forgot who I was talking to. I'm talking like an 8-year-old. But I've been fiending for some pizza. If I can have some pizza, taco,
Mm,
some French fries, and some peach cobbler
mm,
all at one time, I'd be a happy person.
yeah.
Ugh.
Well, one day.
No.
You're doing the 21 day, right?
Yep. 21 days. Yep.
Oh, you're a weekend.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna get some like queso on my Chipotle today, but then I looked it up. It has a gram of sugar, and I said, nope, not even
Oh
gonna,
no.
not even gonna mess with it. So I'm good. You can do sprouted grain bread only 2 slices a day. So if you get some like Ezekiel bread, they have some that are sprouted grain, only 2 a day,
Hmm.
if that. Yeah, I ain't trying to gain everything back that I lost. So anyway,
Yeah.
the topic today. So we y'all use those of you that watch us consistently, you're used to us by now. We just kind of randomly talk about stuff and then hopefully get on topic, and then we get on topic and it takes us somewhere else. Uh, last week we got on it's Mental Health Awareness Month. We're talking about mental health and emotional, psychological things.
Hmm.
Last week we stumbled on a discussion about the struggle of starting for those who are afraid to start. Like you got those things that you know you need to do, and you just haven't done them yet. Yeah, butternut squash is so good. Oh my god, it's so good. Um, don't mind her. The stuff that starting, the fear of starting, or those people who are in the middle of it, and like Peter, you get caught up looking at the storm, and you
Hmm.
start to sink because you're focused on the trouble or the hardship rather than the finish line or the goal.
Hmm.
Now, one of the things that I think we don't consider is the insecurities and the fears that show up when you're either A, getting ready to start something, or B, when you're in it.
Hmm.
The reality is that you're going to face your insecurities when you start. You're going to face your insecurities in the middle. And a lot of people don't consider that. So what do? They
In
either
the end, too.
start,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and actually the end too, yeah. You either don't start or you don't finish. Or when you do finish, watch this. Here's crazy. You finish it, you achieve the goal, but you can't enjoy it
Hmm.
because because your insecurities are in
Yeah.
the way of you enjoying it.
And it's crazy too. Like you're like, where did these things even come from? Because they're insecurities you didn't even have like a challenge with before.
Mm. Well, I think that opportunities reveal insecurities.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say they create them per se. I mean, I could be wrong. But they can reveal something hidden in us that we didn't know was there.
Hmm.
The thing is, we just didn't have the opportunity.
Hmm. To face
Remember-
it.
Yeah. So I remember I was talking to somebody, and they took something, and the person said, "Well, that's not usually who I am." And I said, "Well, let me ask you a question real quick. If it was X, Y, and Z there, would you have taken it? No. But because it was this, the temptation came.
Hmm.
And what it showed me in that moment was that everybody has a line where opportunity can reveal a side of you that you never thought was there.
Hmm.
So, for instance, if say you were walking by, somebody walked by you and you saw them drop $5, you'd be like, "Sir, ma'am, you dropped $5," right?
Mhm.
Say, for instance, same person walking by,
Yeah.
we drop 3 stacks. You don't know how much, but you know they're like this thick of $100 bills. I'm not saying you would take it, but a part of you would consider. They don't know.
That option is there.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The opportunity created this or revealed this side of you that you didn't think was there. That's why I'm always when people tell me I'll never do X, Y, and Z, always say
Careful what you judge.
what you
Yep.
say. Because being put in the right situation with the right person, you'll end up doing something that you said you'd never do.
Yeah.
No woman being abused by a man said, I'm going to grow up and be abused by a man.
Hmm.
I've heard plenty say that I'll never let a man hit me until they get in the right situation, or a man being hit by a woman or being cheated on. I've heard a lot of people say, somebody cheat on me, I'm leaving. Until you're in that situation, you got somebody you care about, you got kids, you got a house together. It's not as easy as you think it is.
Mm-hmm. There's so many different factors that come into play that, for one person, they could go one way. For you, you might go this way, but you never know until you're right there in the moment.
Mm-hmm. So opportunities have a way of revealing insecurities, fears, doubts, emotional struggles, mental struggles. And I've learned they make you deal with your early childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes you deal with you because it'll smack you right in the face.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's if you really want to move on.
Yeah.
Because you can't push through without having to come face to face with those childhood traumas, like you mentioned. You have to address them.
Absolutely. You got to deal with them because they're going to come up. Our fears didn't come out of nowhere. They were created somewhere. The question is, have we ever gone through the process to think about, I'm afraid of this because of this. This happened. This is why I'm afraid of this.
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever gotten to the root of why we're scared?
Yeah.
We just know we are. Why are you afraid to start?
Mm-hmm. That's a real question.
Why? Here's another thing too. I know people like this. Why, when things are going well and it looks like it's working, you have to find a way to mess it up?
Mm-hmm. It's sabotaging yourself.
A lot of people want the success, but don't want to do the emotional, mental work to actually get there and sustain it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing, because a lot of people see the glitz and glamour of it all. They're not considering, like you said, the stress and the emotional toll it takes to get it done. It can be heavy.
Yeah. And you brought up a good point earlier about in the end too.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we see, I was thinking about this last night for some reason. When we see a lot of celebrities have these major emotional breakdowns, it's not just from the pressure of the industry and all the pressure of being successful. For some of them, they're portraying an image that's really not who they are.
Mm-hmm. They can't upkeep it.
Yeah, they can't upkeep it. The problem is they become their image rather than in public, let me just show this. But when I go back in private, I go back to who I really am.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Deion Sanders talking about that when he got saved and gave his life to God. He had to learn the difference between Deion Sanders, the person, and prime time, Neon Deion, as they called him back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because he started becoming prime time. And it was leading to a whole lot of problems and a whole lot of issues because you can only fake it but so long before the real you comes out.
Yeah. I feel like that, I don't know, I'm just trying to understand the pressure of that because let me charge my thing before I disappear. Okay. I can't understand how heavy that must be to constantly feel like you have to be someone else, in order to get attention or wherever. Yeah. But that's hard.
Yeah.
To have to live up to that.
Yeah. This is not a prophetic statement, but this is just a reality of psychology and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more we see people trying to present these false images online, the higher the mental health rates are going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start seeing people have breakdowns and all these things because they're trying to live into an image.
Yeah. I mean, that is like a split personality.
Yeah, when you
They're
think about
trying
it,
to be a different person.
yeah, oh Lord. Well, you know current events. Some people may not. I remember. Now, I mean, this is pure. I'm not saying this all the way. Um, hey, Chef Moy. I remember one of the Kardashians put out a raw picture of how she looked.
There are a couple different options there. Yep.
I think it was Chloe. I think
Okay.
there's a
Mm-hmm.
raw picture of how she really looked without all the filters, the Photoshop, and everything. Apparently, people in the family got upset with her. Like, why would you present?
Really?
Yeah, you didn't hear. I'm surprised you didn't hear about
I
this.
haven't heard about. I mean, they all look very different in real life. I'm sure. So I'm surprised that they would,
Yeah.
go after each other like that.
But I think it's because she purposely posted the picture of the real looking her and not all the filters and photoshops and whatever.
Mm.
And I can't speculate. I don't know her. I don't know all the stuff that goes on. But I'm thinking that some people don't know how to manage because they live their lives in this filter, in this bubble. I was just using that as an example to get to
Mm-hmm.
reality.
Well, I was going to say another thing to consider too is that sometimes people that are in those positions aren't managing their look, so they don't have control over their lives just in general.
Yeah, and I think that's why they were so upset with her. Like, this is not keeping with the brand.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my dilemma with that. Now, I don't blame. I believe. I believe strongly. I believe strongly in personal responsibility. Just because somebody else is doing something doesn't mean that you are required to do it.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's a susceptible crowd out there that will feel bad about themselves while looking at an image that's photoshopped, filtered, and then they'll buy into that foolishness, feel bad about themselves, and try to present an image that they know is not them,
Mm-hmm.
just to get the attention.
So then the opposite of that though is why are people giving it attention?
Giving the clarify.
Why are people being drawn to that certain look or whatever that's selling? That there needs to be that people are feeling inclined to try to mimic it.
I think a lot of it's about acceptance, recognition, being celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you have people stand in front of a car that's not theirs, taking a picture with it, acting like it's their BMW or their Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
They come to find out they're driving a Toyota, which is nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're trying. I know people who buy clothes, model it on social media, only to take it back to the store when they're done.
It's a thing.
And here's the thing: it's not because they're trying to be a model. It's just trying to present an image.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That to me, that's like if you're doing it for business purposes,
Mm-hmm.
then I kind of get it somewhat. But if you're just trying to gain that recognition,
Yeah.
we've made the applause of people, a crowd of people we don't know, important to make ourselves feel better. And I swear, I'm telling you, there's going to come a time where people are going to have emotional struggles, especially a lot of these online influencers, constantly taking all these selfies, constantly doing all this stuff, and they're doing it for their brand. But I wonder how it's going to affect them personally.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. Yeah.
Everybody can't separate. We work in this field more than I do. Everybody can't separate. It's like me being a preacher. I know I'm a preacher. I know I'm a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go home, I am not Pastor Nick when I'm home. I still got to take out the trash.
Uh-huh.
I still got to,
just like everyone else.
Like everybody else.
Yeah.
And when I go home, I don't want to be a pastor when I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big part of who I am. But is that who I want to be to my family? No. They need a husband, need a father,
Mm-hmm.
a son.
But I mean, that's good. Like you're able to separate church and not church, but work rather, and who you are. When who you are is your brand, and that goes, who are you? And that's where a lot of the struggle comes in. I know social media has changed. The things that you did 2 years ago aren't working now. So there are people who at one point had like millions of followers, but they're only getting like a small amount of engagement now. And so they're not getting the income, for lack of better words, to kind of match for it. So they're struggling.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, it goes back to, that them not being able to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. There was one girl, she admitted she had like 3 million followers on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
And didn't have the money to pay her electric bill. So she went up somewhere to kind of get some help to pay her electric bill. And people are like, hey, I follow you. What you doing? I thought you have all this money because you got all these followers. Da, 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 da. And, but it doesn't always equate. I mean, now she's doing well because I guess some stuff worked out for her. But I think that the issue a lot of people have is whatever you're pursuing, you're going to have to face you.
Yeah.
You're going to deal with your fears, your insecurities, your hangups. I want everybody watching today to think about what's holding you back from starting, or you started it. What's holding you back from doing it to the best of your ability? I'll throw me on the altar. So I'm getting back to start writing my book. My paper was due Saturday. Thank God I got it in. But what would help me back from writing so much, I kept telling myself I'm not a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as eloquent as other people in writing. I'm not as picturesque and as poetic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a straightforward, straight shooter, But that held me back some unconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm aware of it, I got to press past that feeling of, I wonder if people are going to read this because it's not as eloquent as I want it to be.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I'm the opposite. I'm a writer.
Okay.
I'm not someone who is out here speaking in public and because I feel like I'm not as eloquent as a speaker. Are people going to be understanding what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Is what I'm saying, like, is it really important? Like all those sort of things. So I'd rather be behind the scenes and not, have to be in positions like where I'm at right now talking. Mm-hmm. I'd much rather be writing something, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But this seems easier to you because we're just having a conversation versus you having to actually stand up in front of a whole crowd and
that's scary.
I think in these formats, it feels like we're just talking to each other.
Well, now, but I think when we first started, panic was real.
That's why you were so quiet for so long. You was like, I'm not saying nothing. And I'm sitting like, help me.
Nope.
Right. see Mama LaBoo, see how she does me? She's left me out there to dry. See, as a wonderful pastor, I was
goodness.
Until she got comfortable. Didn't complain, didn't fuss. Luke Skywalker, first I like your name. I'm a Star Wars person. We talked about that on On Point. And you know what? Listen to On Point this Saturday. Maybe we'll bring it up and talk about it. That's going to take us off a whole different thought process on the medical.
Yeah, we could really go there.
Yeah, just call. Maybe we can talk about it on Saturday. I'll see if I can. If I remember, I'll bring it up on Saturday for On Point at 9:00. Because I'd rather have Bishop there to kind of give his spiel on that too.
It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, like I think God creates everything good for a reason. This kind of tangent was off, then we'll go back to what we're talking about. I'm not saying that we should smoke marijuana, but obviously God put it here for a reason, for something, not for us to get high off of though, because I know some people in different cultures, they would take it in its original form and like put it in soup, and it was a medicinal thing. Mm-hmm. And they use it as a meal, but they weren't like getting all high off it and smoking all that stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm not a scientist, so I don't know all the stuff to it. So, yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and answer that question and be all off. I'm just they're smoking weed.
That would go viral.
Right. Pastor said smoke weed. But anyway, I think that whether it's business, it comes up in business, uh, especially starting a business. Woo! Now you started a business. I haven't started a business like you. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that comes up with the responsibility of having to start a business and spend the money on stuff.
I was gonna say finances. That's a big one
Woo!
right there.
And the trust that is going to work after you spent the money on, like, Lord, I'm spending $600 on this. If this thing
Mhm.
don't work out,
Well, yeah, they had to truly, like, really believe in your business and what you're doing. I think it's okay to take risks, but you have to have a plan to follow up with it too, to
yeah,
actually see the fruits of what the money and the labor you're putting out.
yeah. Have you ever started something and then when you got into it, you're like,
What was I thinking?
like, oh my God,
Yeah.
why did I do this?
It's even worse when people know about it.
That's true. That's true. So when you got your studio last year, did you walk in like,
That whole thing was just crazy because, like, I was talking to someone maybe not even a month beforehand about how much I really wanted a studio.
hmm,
And then I kind of stumbled into the location that I'm at now. So that whole process was like
hmm,
just crazy. But yeah, definitely many moments of like, okay, what am I doing? And then the insecurity, okay, am I really good enough to be doing this?
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep. Um, that is so real, and I think that's why there's something about being uniquely you. And I'm saying it for everybody. God gave all of us a uniqueness.
Mm-hmm.
People can do the same thing you do, but they don't do it the way that you do it.
Right.
I think that's the difference,
Mm-hmm.
is making yourself distinct in how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I, you can tell Bishop trained me to preach. You know,
Thanks, Kevin.
yes, it is phenomenal. I was going
Aw.
to,
Thank
especially
you.
because I look at my glasses.
People are not gonna know what you're talking about.
Right. You can tell Bishop trained me to preach, but I'm also uniquely me though.
Mm-hmm.
We both have similar styles, but yet it's distinct for each person.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever felt that pressure though to live up to um, what Bishop does or his calling of how he does things?
Um, Not now, as much
Mm-hmm.
as as much as whenever the transition takes place, it's like, yo, you got somebody that did all this work to build all this up. It's like, do not mess it up. Like that,
Miss Keefe.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I hear me out when I say this. To me, I don't think a successor should try to fill the shoes of their predecessor.
Mm-hmm.
He got his own shoes. I got my own shoes. I think that'll help minimize the pressure some.
Yeah.
If I'm going into this, it's like, here it is. It's like Joshua wasn't Moses. Elisha wasn't Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
Disciples weren't Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Joshua made his own footprint. Moses made his own footprint. Elijah made his own footprint. Elisha made their own footprint. And I think
Mm-hmm.
if you focus on that, where
Yeah.
you carry on what your predecessor did, where you continue the work, but do it in your own shoes, though,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That
A
makes
lot,
sense.
a lot of people fail trying to be like the person that came before them.
Yeah. I was gonna say I feel like that's where we get into trouble because we're too busy looking at what other people are doing, maybe what their success is, and trying to compare ourselves to that. And in that, we're losing what is, makes us special, what makes us unique.
Yeah.
And eventually, I mean, not eventually, but ultimately, that's what people should be drawn to is you
Mm-hmm.
and how you do things. I wouldn't want, to work with someone just because they think I'm going to be like somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it. God gave, again, uniqueness. There's only one David Evans. There's
Mm-hmm.
one T.D. Jakes. There's one Noel Jones. There's one Mike Todd. Whoever you think of, there's
Mm-hmm.
only one of that person. And whoever succeeds this individual, there's only going to be one of them.
Yeah.
Because if I try to be like somebody else, guess what? How is God going to use me? Right? The unique thing that God gave me for what he called me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really as much filling somebody's shoes as much as it is honoring the shoes that got you here.
Yeah.
then you start continuing the process in your own shoes, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, but it goes back to a lot of people fail because they're trying to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, you take on the strengths of people. So no matter how long I preach, you will always see that he trained me. It shows.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell, yo, that's Evan's boy, right? You can tell,
Mm-hmm.
but it's unique to how my personality is and the way I do things.
But you know what else is special about that too? Because I feel sometimes especially when we're in that comparison, you distance yourself from getting help or mentorship or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're like, I see you and Bishop's relationship. Like, I can see you learning from him and him learning from you, and like how you guys work together. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about competition.
Mm-hmm.
So like in that, you're allowing yourself to grow.
Yeah. And that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
everything. And we talked about this last night at the discussion. He'll be the first one to tell you if he doesn't know something, he'll
Mm-hmm.
go back over that. And you've seen it before too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
explain it to me, help me out so I can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You lose nothing in asking the question if you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think you learn from others, and then you continue what you learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
So Joshua didn't necessarily have his own vision. Joshua continued the vision that God gave to Moses and took it a little further. Elisha, that's what it is. You're taking what people, like your parents, you take what your parents taught you and you make it
your
your own in the sense of this, where you take it and you build on what they did. So if your parents started something, say they left you the house and everything like that, don't tear it up. Make it better than the way I gave it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Every parent, every good parent, secure parent wants their child to do better than them.
Yeah.
I want my kids to have more money than me at my age, better job. I mean, everything. I'm creating them. I'm trying to work with them for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I lose nothing in the process because I want them to have more than I have right now.
Right.
So you're right. Yeah, you lose your genuineness.
Yep.
You trying to be like somebody else, you rob people of who God made you to be. Somebody needs what God gave you.
No, we're all created for a purpose, so
Yeah.
you got to own it.
Yeah. It's like being a kid. When you're a child, you emulate a lot.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you start kind of thinking for yourself a little more and you start discovering you. I think everybody goes through that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who you are, so you emulate everything you see. Then you start kind of discovering, well, I do like this. Well, I'm only doing this because this person was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't like it that much. And, you're growing.
Yeah. Yep. You're learning who you are.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, I don't like jazz. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. It means cool, but some people, raised around like,
Isn't Anita Baker like jazz?
Nah, she is soul.
Oh, okay.
She probably got I'm sure there's some jazz undertone, some jazz music in her songs and stuff, but she's soul.
Mm-hmm.
That's Queen Mother right there. So, but yeah, I mean, I think those insecurities come up for us to make a decision to follow our insecurities or to stay focused on the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Peter started focusing on the insecurities or fears and he started to sink. And Jesus says, why did you doubt? You were doing good. Stay focused on the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Insecurities are going to come up. It's natural.
Do you think that we face those things the closer we get to the goal?
Mm-hmm. The more they start talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do this. It's not going to work out. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I have no model for this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do it. All those things are God giving you an opportunity to learn how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done this before. Good. Learn how to do it.
Yeah.
All depends on how you look at it. I'm stressed because I've never done this before. That's good. Take that stress and learn how to do it.
Man, but I feel like some people though don't want to do that. They don't want to have to take the time to learn how to do something.
There's this book I read. I can't remember the name of the book. Human beings have a tendency to take the path of least resistance.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. We take the path of least resistance. The easier it is, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's any challenge there, Bishop talked about last night, 10 times better. If there's any challenge there, we avoid it.
Yeah.
Because we think the challenge is not God. It's not. When the reality is, you talk to so many, let's take business for it. You talk to so many business owners that have been successful. And when they start talking to you about how many times they had to start over, or they were doing good and something happened, they had to figure out a way, you'd be shocked of the amount of times an obstacle came up. It looked like it wasn't going to work. And then boom, all of a sudden something clicked and it works.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, how can I say this? A lot of success comes from being stubborn and tenacious. That's the only way I can think about it.
It's true.
There's a portion of that.
Yeah.
Of just the dog determination to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that will help you. I'm talking when you're working in the right area. That will help you overcome and compensate for the stuff you don't have.
Yeah. You almost had to put blinders on and just staying focused. Okay, I know this is going to work. I'm just going to keep on plugging away at it. And eventually, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah.
It'll get figured out.
You're going to figure it out. And once it clicks, you're like, oh, that's, or you go talk to somebody, go talk to a mentor, go talk to somebody, an easier way to do it. And that will help you figure it out. Learn.
Mm-hmm.
Homeschooling the kids still. And I hate this new math. I despise.
Have you learned it yet? Are you getting it?
Some of it, yes. I hate it.
Like, does it make sense at all?
No, I hate it. The stuff that they make these kids go through. I'm trying to rant on this. The stuff they make them go through to learn. I'm like, it's a waste of time. We could have been done this problem 5 minutes ago. But because they got to go through all these 4 different steps to figure out the answer, just carry the daggone one and let's get this thing over with.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, how do you these 10s and 1s and you trading and you doing? I'm like, what is all this? What is this?
Yeah.
But now that I've it took us an hour to get something figured out. I was like, oh, I got it now.
Uh-huh.
So now I know how to do it. But I'm like, this is the dumbest thing.
I heard somewhere it's helping kids do math in their head faster.
You know, it's easy doing math in your head faster. 14 minus 8, and you bang, 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 boom, 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 or you count it with your fingers. It's dumb. That's fast.
Just get a calculator.
They got to learn how to process and think. That's why they got geometry and algebra.
Uh-huh.
You know, our generation, we can do formulas in our head and stuff like that. Now I'm like, you got to box it and do 4 different things to get to the daggone answer.
Yeah.
But they got it. He has to learn to do it that way so he can pass. I can show him the answer, but he has to learn the process. But I'm like, this is just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb. It's stupid. There's other ways to teach them how to think.
mean, math was just never my thing to begin with, so.
Don't get me started on that. I was just so upset today.
I know. I saw your post.
Oh my God, I was so upset. I was so upset I had a typo in the thing. I was about to throw that computer like this. I was so upset.
Guess you want to talk about it?
Talking about it now. Oh man, I was so upset. You keep talking trash, Kevin. Wait till your child is in 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. You can see what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. And we're sitting there like, I had to YouTube a couple of videos like, well, how do you do this?
Wow.
And I'm sitting there YouTube and watching videos.
Well, this is math now. What is it going to be like in another 10, 15 years?
If there's one thing I know about people in this country, everything's about money.
Mm-hmm.
So this Common Core curriculum ain't about these students learning better. It's about money. Because if it was so great, the United States wouldn't be so far behind education-wise. Hi, Keisha. In the country.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. Even some of the teachers will tell you they don't like it. They just do it because they got to.
Because they have to.
They have to. but they'll tell you this is the dumbest stuff in the world. And they
But
will tell you straight up.
who came to this agreement that this is what math is going to be like now? Who
A bunch,
decides that?
a bunch of people that worked in administration didn't act, or probably weren't even teachers in the classroom.
Uh-huh.
I've talked to some people like they try to defend it like it's a good thing, but you're not in the classroom with these kids. Now I'm just speculating. I don't know who came up with it, but I'm just like,
They probably don't have kids.
anyway, y'all gonna get me started. It's 1:42, and I gotta.
Keith, I'm doing good, thanks.
So anyway, let me get my anger back under control.
Breathe, woosah.
I was so frustrated this morning. I was mad,
Aw.
and he didn't really see it. I'm sitting there like, this is just. If I showed it to you, you would probably be upset too. You'd be like,
I'm not even going to try.
you'd be like, this is the dumbest thing in the world.
Uh-huh.
So anyway,
Yeah.
your issues are going to come up. This time went by pretty quick. Your issues are going to come up. You have to learn the process and work through them. And go talk to somebody to help you work through them if you need to, because you can't do everything on your own.
Right.
Learn to discover the root of where the issues come from. Some things we're afraid to do has nothing to do with the business. Everything to do with what somebody said to us when we were younger, did to us when we were younger, or some experience that we had that kind of created a mindset and a struggle that we've had even to this day. I know people who had stuff happen to them when they were like 6, 7 years old, and they're still battling with it now as adults.
Wow.
You know, and they're struggling with it, and it's holding them back from being all that they need to be. And you know, you can't just wave it away. You can't just speak it away. Sometimes you need to do the work to get delivered and move on.
Yeah.
You got to do the work. You got to do the work. All right, I'm done. We can talk more about it next week, because I gotta get home soon. Anything you want to share?
No, I mean, that's good. You gotta do the work. You gotta face these things head on to move past them and to heal from them.
Yeah, that's all you got to share. See how where's your mom? See how she leaves me hanging. See,
She's not here right now, and I didn't leave you hanging.
Despite
That was like
that was
whatever.
hilarious.
It was despite whatever you want to make it. You fill in the blank.
That was lit. Despite, and we're like, despite what?
Y'all just can't keep up. That's all.
Oh wow, we'll definitely keep you in prayer.
Yeah.
Wow. We'll definitely keep you in prayer. And everybody else. So, all right, what's going on this week?
So today we had the recap at 5:30, and then a rebroadcast of yesterday's encounter service. Tuesday is the Link Couples.
I know. I got it.
Don't forget.
I got it. Yep.
So that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Wednesday, of course, we have Word Impact. A little sneak peek on what that's going to be about, Pastor Nick.
Oh, Bishop's doing this lesson, so I don't know.
Okay, so just tune in. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Thursday, we do have our Sound Mind panel at 7. Friday, nothing
Thursday?
as of yet.
You mean the business panel?
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Business panel. My bad. Business panel this Thursday at 7. Saturday on point at 9 a.m. And then we are coming back with our drive-in service. So if you're in the area, make sure that you come to church at 11:30 a.m. For drive-in. I'm excited for that. That's going to be fun.
Yeah,
it's going to be nice to see people again.
Are you able to get in the car and ride around yet or no?
Yeah, I was actually at church on last Saturday or Friday.
You didn't come say hello?
You weren't there.
Oh.
But yeah, I'll be there Saturday.
You gonna be running around the parking lot taking pictures?
I just might. I have to see if I can get my dad to push me around.
No, I'll push you around. I got you.
You gonna push me around?
Yeah, just strap
you
in.
gonna hit every pothole.
Just strap. Look, have you been? You walk back there. There's a whole lot of little mini holes in the box. It'd probably be better for you not to go roll around.
I'll get in a position. We'll figure that out.
Unless you have one of those big wheel ones, the bigger wheel ones like that. You can those small ones. Like if you hit a rock or something, you might fall over. With those little small Yeah.
I might be okay.
Or we
We'll plan it out.
get you one of them riding ones that got like the wheels on them and ride around.
We'll see.
No, that's true. We could use the golf cart.
We have golf cart.
Where have you been? We've always
Those big ones.
Yes.
Okay,
We can put you in the golf cart.
that'd be fun.
But will the movement hurt your leg though? Like if you're moving like on hitting rocks and bumps and stuff?
No, I mean I should be okay. I might be a little sore later.
We're not gonna put you in the golf cart because I ain't trying to mess up.
I already drove out the house. I'll be fine.
But I'm talking. This is on the dirt. This is not like on a street concrete, pavement. We'll talk about it.
We'll figure that out.
We'll just put you in one place and just let you move around and let you take pictures of it for 30 seconds.
But yeah, that's Saturday, and then Sunday is a full day of the encounter starting at 8 a.m. The Engage Live team is back at 9:45. The encounter again at 11, and then we have 10 Times Better starting at 5:30 with the pre-show.
Yeah.
As long as you don't drive.
No, I can drive in the golf cart. I'm gonna have some fun with you. I'm gonna strap you in. I don't know if they have seatbelts on that. I tie a rope around, strap you in.
Where did she go? She's laying in the dirt over there.
Hit a turn and you. We'll work it out. We'll have some fun. We'll work it out. All right, y'all. Well, Keisha, we had to find out why your family doesn't like the person. So that's a whole conversation you need to have. Maybe you can call the church and they can work it out. All right. So Emma, we will pray on that and work it out. All right, y'all. So we'll see you all later. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.